Elizabeth.
And Connor with the December 15th edition of DSMS TV News.
On today's kindness calendar, let's try and pay it forward.
And now to a video with Mr. Hummer about parking lot safety.
Hello, Desert Shadows. This is Mr. Hummert in the news studio. I'm bringing you today a little talk about school safety. Safety is something that's important to the whole staff at Desert Shadows. Mrs. O'Boyle and I have heard some concerns about safety at different parts and places, and so we're going to talk today about safety in the parking lot area, in that front area for those who ride their bikes in and for those pedestrians. If you're walking or get dropped off on a car, or if you in any way pass through the parking lot area, this is for you. Here's what we're hearing, and here's where our concerns are. Distracted walking. We ask our families who drive in to keep their phones down and to be alert and focused on where we're at. Sometimes what we see is students that have their heads down in their phones while they're walking, and that's not safe because cars are moving around. Sometimes it's two or more students who are looking at the phone together. So when you're walking into school, especially in the parking lot area, make sure you put your phone in your pocket or your backpack and keep your eyes up and alert to what's happening around you. The other thing we want to ask is that students walk when you're parking lot. If you're running, that's not safe because sometimes cars are backing up and they don't have the eyes directly in front of them. So walk in the parking lot and don't be distracted. Keep your eyes up. The second thing that we want to talk to you about is using the designated lines. When you cross that corridor where the circle drive is and the cars are passing around, what we've seen is there are several students who are just darting across and dashing through cars, and that is kind of a scary thing because it's a busy place, there are a lot of moving parts. If everybody works together and we hone in on that one corridor where the stripes are on the street, that's the safe place to walk across. And even when you're there, it's a good idea to make eye contact with the car that's first in line when you're in front of that striped area to make sure that the driver sees you as you pass through. Third part, we would like all students to be dropped off on the curb. What we've seen a few times is parents who will drop off on that inside lane and the student jumps out of the car with a car right next to them. That's not the safe way to do it. Be patient, wait for your turn to move to the inside where you're right on the curb, and that's the place to jump out. Fourth is for you, students. We want you to pack up your car and your backpack and your things so when you get into the car, you're ready to jump out and move. A lot of times we have students that aren't quite ready, or we have a few things to do while we're sitting waiting our turn to get out. The more ready you are, the faster things move along for everyone. The final note is this. There will be times when you're late for school, and maybe it's because you're last minute pulling into the parking lot. This is not a reason to ignore the other four things that we just talked about. Play it safe. Safety comes first. If you're late, we can work with you on that, but don't do things that are unsafe because you're running a few minutes behind. We care about you. We care about your safety at Desert Shadows Middle School. There'll be a few more announcements like this because transportation and safety to and from school is important. Thank you for listening to this important message.
And now to the birthdays.
DSMS is Aaron with the birthdays. Today's only birthday is Leanne Fraley. And now to the sports.
Hello DSMS, it's Shona with the sports. We are excited to announce that cross country is returning to DSMS. Practice starts right after break on Tuesday, January 9th. If you are interested in running, pick up a registration form in Miss Hoskinson's room or see a PE coach. Please turn in all forms and fees by Thursday, December 20th. There's no football and volleyball practice after school. Now back to the anchors.
Congrats to Mrs. Bell's kids who bought pajamas for you, Mom.
That's all for today.
And remember to stay classy, DSMS.